unprofessional.
Welcome to Shorty Boy, February the 12th. I'm Dino Bonanno, the dean of this college. And today I got two professors with me. Two lovely ladies.
Yep.
Thank you.
What if you guys were professors, what would you want to major in? What would you teach people about? George would teach about sexiness. The law of attraction. and Joe, what would you do? You'd be
what would I do?
Joe would be in shop.
Shop. I would teach shop.
It would be called shop, but every day you would have a random project, or every week it would be like, today we're gonna learn how to rig a street light to be a drone.
Oh, okay.
So
I can see that.
like engineering?
Yeah, but like super.
I would teach
super
unethical engineering.
Super MacGyver shop engineering.
Oh, it would just be called MacGyver.
MacGyver class?
MacGyver class.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be more of a trade school.
Teach you how to make a plane out of like
Yeah.
toothpicks and rubber bands or something.
So you'd work at a trade school, and you would give them. You said you would give them like rubber bands.
Yeah, and
paper
toothpicks
clips.
and paper clips, and be like,
Make a drone out of this.
make a drone.
That works.
Has to fly for a mile.
Well, I'm failing that class.
I'd sign up.
That'd be awesome. That would be a dope class.
I'd
I'm not
sign
even
up.
gonna lie. Learn how to make stuff out of nothing, like practical stuff.
So how was Jackass, guys?
Dude, like I was
Funny.
telling you, it was funny, man. It had us cracking up. I mean,
What was the best bit? What was the best bit?
ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, let's give it a good review in case Ian's listening.
Yeah, let's give it a good review. There's actually a bunch
Fucking
of
shots
good
fired.
bits.
Cringe,
I'm trying
bro.
to think of one that really stood out. I don't know if this is a good one, but it's one that really the one where he like flattened his dick in between two clear acrylic plates and then played ping pong, like what's it, paddle ball with it. That stood out a little bit. Yeah, it was kind of cringy.
No, they did beer pong too.
Oh, they did beer pong. Yeah, there's two of them got together and they had two
They got
acrylic
even longer
acrylic plates, clear acrylic plates, and they both flattened their dick on each side of one with a little net.
How do you play beer pong like
and
that?
they played ping pong.
Oh yeah, ping pong.
They played ping pong.
Ping
yeah.
pong, yeah.
That shit was like. There was a lot more dick in this than any of them.
Uncensored,
Yes,
of course.
Oh,
Okay.
100%. Yep, rated
Steve-O
R,
had a dick.
uncensored.
Steve-O,
Steve-O
Johnny
dick.
Knoxville,
Johnny Knoxville.
Bam.
Bam. All right. I read an article before going to watch it, and it was because I knew Bam wasn't in it.
Look at you doing
why.
what Ian does.
No, I wanted to.
Look at you. I can't fucking believe you.
I wanted to know why.
You were on my side last time.
No, I wanted to know why Bam wasn't in it.
He was just trying to pique his curiosity.
All right.
No, I was like, why isn't Bam in it?
Fair enough.
And to the point where they blurred his face out at the end when they did the Ryan Dunn special. So we'll get to that.
Really?
Yes.
Legal troubles?
Yes.
Oh
So,
my God.
you know how Bam was going through a tough time after Ryan Dunn's death
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and he was like really off bad, fell into depression, started drinking a lot, his career plummeted.
He's gotten
it
big
was, it was
and
bad.
he got big,
He
right?
got
And he looks
big,
like
put
Uncle
on a bunch
Vito.
of weight. Yeah, he put a bunch of weight on. He was on Dr. Phil with his mom. Actually, I think that photo there is Dr. Phil. You can see how much he's changed in that, right?
Yeah.
He was on there because of his alcohol problem. He's a very really bad alcoholic.
Okay.
And it kind of all stemmed from Ryan Dunn's death, is what everyone's saying in articles and stuff like that. And he was off and on, so he would have like good years and stuff like that, and then he would have bad years. Well, when they decided to do Jackass Forever, he was drinking a lot. He was having a bad year. So they decided, the producers, Johnny Knoxville, they decided, like, we don't want you on this if you're going to be like that.
So he was like being a dick behind the scenes and being like a alcoholic trash bag
Basically,
the whole
before they
time,
even
or?
started filming, they're like, we don't want you on this one.
Then why did they have him in it and blurred his face?
They had old clips at the end of Ryan Dunn. When I told you when they did the tribute at the
they
end,
had clips,
spoiler,
okay.
they did a tribute at the end of Ryan Dunn.
Yeah.
They had like one or two clips, like they clipped it together to where it was like more scenes without Bam in them.
I see.
Right? But then there was a couple that would Bam in, and you could tell that they blurred his face out in them.
Oh, shit.
So that to the point where, like, they didn't want him in it at all.
That sucks, man.
Yeah.
He's an integral part of the
they
whole thing.
basically just nixed him and didn't speak of him at all during the entire thing.
I hope he gets better. He's fucking
Well,
talented
Bam
as
came
shit.
out before the movie came out. Movie just came out last weekend. Bam came out before that, and he's been kind of blowing up the internet a little bit about, like, you know, like, fuck them.
Yeah, trying to,
like I am that
controversy.
show and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like,
You're not that show.
He's being a dick about it.
You're the Bam Margera show.
right?
You're a big part of
Well,
Jackass.
and then he was like, I can't believe they would do this to me, and you know,
Well,
I want to be a part of that,
You
and
got to get your stuff together, bro.
that's what it was. They just wanted him to get his shit together.
That sucks.
And they would have loved how upset he was because he loves the producer and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And he's upset that he wasn't able to be a part of the show. But they're like, everybody else in the show has grown up. Even look at Steve-O. He was one of the worst ones, hands down.
Yeah, he was like Steve-O's the epitome of you can turn a new leaf.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and of course, Steve-O didn't want to be around that.
Did he do any stunts?
Yes.
What
He did
was
a
the
lot of
best stunt
stunts.
from Steve-O?
I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't say best, but I probably like the craziest one. He took a queen bee out of a nest and put it on his dick.
Oh God!
So
all
a whole
uncensored.
swarm of bees. He just had a whole swarm
had
of
a-
bees
a-
wrapped around his dick.
And basically, they all attracted the queen, right? So they all nested on his
Dude,
dick and balls.
that's a big no-no.
And they stung him like, who know? He like they showed his ball sack, and it was like, I don't know,
Covered in
like
bee
yeah,
stings.
cut like hundreds of
Jesus
bee stings in
Christ,
it.
bro.
Yeah, it was bad.
Dude, I heard the story about Steve-O once that he's on a bucket list kick apparently,
Yeah.
and like he wanted to come out of an air while jumping out of an airplane skydiving.
What?
And he wanted to do it
if
while they
it's
took
on-
the shot. And he wanted to ejaculate right as they took the shot of him jumping out of the airplane. So what they had to do is get him to... he had to bring a DVD player up in the airplane because there's no Wi-Fi, right? You can't get any
Right.
reception up there. So he watched it. He watched some porn and he
get to that point.
he got to that point, he hacked off, and then it was time, because once you get to you only have a certain amount of time before you get to the drop zone.
Yep, they give you the green
So he had to
light.
time it right, exactly. And apparently he did it. He jumped out, got the jack off shot.
That's hilarious. But
Talk
see,
about a rush. Like,
that's
how
a
far
rush.
are you gonna go to get that rush, dude?
how far are you going to go to get
Oh,
I mean, if it's on his bucket list and he's doing his bucket list, man, more power to him. But
hey man, yeah.
Oh, so he didn't even do it for like the show or a movie. He
I-
just did it because it was on his bucket list.
Well, I think he's got like a whole list of things to do, and he just puts it on a show. Today on Shorty Boy, we're gonna do this for an hour, I guess, and I ain't got shit ready. This is spontaneous, so we're gonna turn to Reddit, as you should in everyday life crisis.
Reddit column.
Sis. Can blind people drive? Should blind people be able to drive?
Can they drive? Yes. Should they be able to drive?
Hell no.
Probably not.
What if it was Ben Affleck, Daredevil?
No.
He would probably be able to drive better than me.
Actually, yeah, but he has that ability to see vibrations. Like, is that a fact?
That'd
Can you
probably
see-
be dangerous though,
Why?
because he sees based off his hearing. So
Yeah.
like, what if people are like honking the horn? And
Oh yeah.
But what about the engine of the car? It would be running and creating vibration, so all he would see is the car he's in.
Does Daredevil drive?
No, I don't
You
think so.
Daredevil drives?
No.
he Ubers.
Yeah. He Ubers to each crime scene.
Since Valentine's Day is coming up, what is the most unforgettable thing I could do to impress my lady?
That's a good one. I would say not celebrate Valentine's Day.
Hey, that's a good answer.
You know?
That is pretty unforgettable.
That's-
Shit.
Yeah, she won't forget that one, boys.
Bitch, you thought we were going out? Psych.
You ain't forgetting this ever.
Super Bowl's on before that.
And she won't forget it. What are you gonna do for Valentine's Day, George?
I don't know. What are we doing, Dina?
I was gonna say, I hope
100%.
you have something planned for me.
Oh.
I
I'll be 100% working. that
Romantic
day.
butt sex.
Sounds sensual.
What about that? The one Sean told you about like the verses.
Like superheroes?
No, it's anything, dude. Like I think one of them was like who would win every insect in the world versus every human in the world,
Yeah. I wish
which were completely outnumbered.
You think every insect would win?
To what?
Yeah.
Every insect in the world
Every
versus
insect in
every
the world.
human in the world?
Yes.
Yeah.
On like a one-on-one basis, or like all of them versus all
all
of us?
together. There's a giant war, bro.
Given that there's some venomous insects,
Yeah.
yeah, I think we're done for.
You really think so? When we have the power to have
Actually, no, because we have like
disinfectants.
that, poisons,
Raid.
flamethrowers,
Raid.
bombs, guns. Yeah, actually, I think we would take that.
We just fly into space and just drop a giant raid bomb.
A rape bomb?
A raid bomb?
Not a
Oh,
raid bomb.
raid bomb.
A raid bomb.
raid bomb. You definitely said
God.
rape
A
bomb.
raid Shadow Legends bomb.
We'll just drop a giant rape bomb.
Which brings us to our sponsor.
Our sponsor, Rape Bombs.
Here's a good one. Yeah, here's a good one. Okay, Hulk versus Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider,
Now, why do you say that?
because of the stare.
Yeah, but if you do the stare, the penance stare,
The penance stare.
only
Only like works on the like guilty, right? Or the
yeah,
sinful.
yeah, it only works on people that. So you experience all the pain that you've given to others intentionally.
Yeah.
So
Well, hasn't the Hulk done that?
Intentionally, no. Right? Because doesn't he just kind of black
Is it-
out and go
yeah.
ape shit?
isn't it just involuntary crazy
I know, but
shit?
isn't the Hulk different from Banner?
Yeah, two people.
It's two personalities.
So
right?
if Ghost Rider did that to Hulk, it might not even work.
it might not work, or it might work.
Okay, but if it does work, then he just goes back to Banner.
That is true. But also, then, but how that would work though? Do you think would that like cure Banner?
Oh shit, maybe.
Because then the Hulk's no more. Oh,
I think you
we
found a
might have
loo-
just. I found a loophole.
Yeah, you found a loophole, and you might have solved Bruce Banner's problem, bro.
Yep. He doesn't have to be the Hulk no more.
What's the sexiest and least sexiest name?
George is the sexiest name.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
I think the least sexiest is like Margaret.
Yeah,
Sorry, Grandma. Just
That's
You just
messed up.
automatically think old lady.
yeah.
Margaret.
Yeah, Margaret.
Could you picture a hot chick
Named Margaret. No. I can picture a grandma named Margaret, but not a hot chick.
How many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?
How many?
I mean, kill it how though?
That's what I'm saying.
You basically would have to kill it by
It would have to
weight
be-
of
I
chickens.
don't think a chicken beak could pierce elephant skin.
No.
So like, what you mean, like
What if all of the chickens
gouge his eyes out and make him walk off a cliff, or
Hey,
that's a good one, yeah.
Yeah. Or you could have the chicken's butt go into the butt, or you can have all the chickens peck at one spot.
Or the
repeatedly.
elephant can swallow a chicken and choke on it and die.
Oh,
Or
there you go.
that's why one chicken. could
Sacrifice
kill.
one chicken for
I like
the
how you
rest-
subtly stuck in that butt reference. It's
Yeah, you definitely did that.
like an every episode thing now.
What's the absolute worst name you could give your child? Probably Adolf.
Yeah.
But did you know
Yeah.
that rapper Young Dolph?
Mm-hmm.
That's his name.
His name's Adolf.
Yeah. His parents were crackheads, so they just named him Adolf. I don't know. And he decided to. It was gonna be Young Adolf, but then he changed it to Young Dolph.
Young Adolf. That would raise questions.
Adolf Thornton Jr.
Oh, but it's spelled with a PH instead of an F.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like, wasn't it a thing that like Adolf thought like blonde hair and blue eyes was like
The
good-
epitome of
like good genetics or whatever?
yeah,
Yeah.
Aryan race.
The Aryan race.
Yeah, I can't tell you why.
But he didn't have blonde hair, blue
no,
eyes.
he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He
So
didn't.
does he wish he did?
I don't know. I think maybe
Is that what it was?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, I guess that could be a theory.
It sounds like he hated himself, so he wanted to.
It could have had a lot to do with like the German people.
Yep.
The majority, like German people, I think, if you go back in the roots of the bloodlines, they're mostly blonde and blue eyes. If you go in ancient time, I don't know, but I'm guessing most people in Germany are like that. And he knew, even if you're spouting that shit.
Wait, was he even German? What, wasn't he Austrian or something?
Born in Austria, immigrated to Germany.
Yeah, so he wasn't even German.
He wasn't even German.
He's
fuck.
Austrian.
So he wasn't really like repping Germany. He
immigrated
was
to
more,
Germany
it
in
was more his like
1913.
Nazi party.
But he obtained citizenship in 1925, so he became a German, by the paper. He was a German.
Well, he became a German citizen. He
Yeah.
didn't become German.
Well, German citizen.
Well, at that point,
he could claim that as
at that point, you're German,
Yeah.
right? So if you get your papers here, you're American.
You're American.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So would that fall into like that subcategory you brought up? Well, like where your blood is from?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think what he was preaching, he knew he wasn't about. He didn't fall in that category. He knew he didn't. He was trying to rally the people of Germany because they fucked up in the first war. So they got defeated. So he wanted to rally them back up, get the former glory going and shit.
All right, so let's break it down like this. All right, so what do you consider Jewish people? White, right?
Oh, didn't we talk about this?
Yeah, we did. So what do you consider is Jew
Is that a white race?
or is it a religion? Or is it both? Because there's many people that consider it to be both. But we looked it up on Google and it
had like a very
vague.
It had like a very specific. It had like a very specific checklist.
Oh yeah.
To be Jewish?
Well, if you were to consider being Jewish a race as opposed to a religion, like it had like a very detailed list. Like you can only consider your race Jewish if like blah 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 blah.
All right, so let's say Jewish is
because
a religion, right?
Yeah.
So like, is it a dominant white religion?
Well, Judaism, if you're Jewish, if you're talking about blood, it stems from Israel, right?
What should be considered Middle East?
Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
I guess would it be?
But it migrated.
I guess you could say Jewish is a race, but Judaism is a religion. Is that what you're trying to say? Because to me, Jewish isn't a race; it's a religion. I could convert to Judaism right now, but I'm Mexican.
Yeah, but at the same time, you can convert to Judaism, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'm Jewish now. So the wording,
so that wouldn't make it my race. My race would be Mexican.
Yeah, so but there's many people that if you take a DNA test, it says you're 1% Jewish. That means
so that's a real thing?
I believe so.
All right.
Or it might say Israeli.
Could say both.
Or it could say both.
Yeah.
But I have seen some, maybe it's updated, but I've seen some, I think, that say Jewish. But people say, he's half Jewish. So it's like, why don't you just say he's half Israeli?
Yeah. You can say
Israeli.
You can say the same thing.
See, that's why it doesn't make sense to me at all.
Me neither.
Because I just consider it a religion.
Yeah, me neither.
I
But
consider it a religion too.
at some point, it just changed. So, okay, if you take all the Christians in America, let's say you take all the Scientologists in America, right? You put them on a continent. You wait 1,000 years. Is that a race?
Well, why would it be?
At some point in history, a piece of land was named something.
Right.
And you were from that land, and that's what you were by blood. And if that same land has the same name as your religion, like if you took all the Scientologists and moved them to Scientology land,
Wow.
then you would be a Scientologist by blood in 1,000 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why.
So you're saying if you put them in an area and then you named that area Scientology land?
Yeah. They would be Scientologists by blood and religion, right? So it'd be the same thing as Jewish.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
Isn't like every like Hispanic region aren't they all Native Americans?
Maybe.
Like the only reason
Spanish?
Yeah, so like was it like Mexicans were Aztecs and
Yeah,
Peruvians were
Southern
Incans?
Yeah.
And then there's Mayans.
Yeah,
And pretty much
so
the only reason they speak Spanish is because Spain conquered them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
there you go, though. So it would be a mix.
So blood-wise, you could say that they're Native American.
but actually, blood-wise, Mexican is Aztec, right?
I think. I'm not sure.
So if Mexican is Aztec, then blood-wise, you're Aztec. But at some point, it's just renamed to Mexican.
Why'd you say it like that?
Well,
I don't know.
Well, the Spaniards came over.
But
they
here's
conquered.
the thing. Before the Spaniards, Asians traveled, I believe, to Alaska, traveled down to North America, and then more down south.
They traveled to Hawaii.
So if I'm correct, which I don't know if I am, South America is from North America, and North America is from Asia. So everybody should be Asian. But Asian people originated from Africa, which everybody did. So at a certain point in time, you got to rename races.
So you're saying your race just would evolve with the landscape?
Yeah.
That's a kind of a cool way of looking at that. Though,
Yeah, you want to move to Scientology land?
Yeah.
Fucking jump on couches with Tom Cruise? That sounds dope.
So wait, well, where are we on the Jewish thing again? So what do you?
No. So
do you think
well,
it's a
I was
race
thinking
or
of
religion?
multiple things. I was thinking like, okay, so like I was thinking of like dominantly white, Germans, stuff like that, Caucasian Germans, stuff like that.
Apparently, Whoopi Goldberg said something along the lines that Jews aren't a race.
So that was recent. That was very recent.
Yeah, so
that was a controversy thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look that up, it's.
But
you
why?
should
Why was it
listen
a
to what she
controversy,
said.
though? Like, did she say it in a real fucked up way?
She
Yeah.
might have. I think she said something about
So
like.
she's just saying what I'm saying, that it's a race, it's not a race, it's a religion.
But I don't think that's all she said. She said something like.
Or did it did it get fucked up?
she kind of just went a little left field. She said, "Well, the Holocaust was about white people killing white people." I think it's called World War II for a reason. So
Everybody was killing everybody, dude. It's
exactly,
how it was.
and
So is that what made it so racy? Because she brought up the Holocaust and stuff.
yeah, it was a big yeah.
I mean,
pretty
look,
much.
Germany took over France. France started fighting with Germans. So there's more white people killing white people.
But here's
Germans killing Americans. That's white people killing white people.
Yeah, but I mean, there's so many races that were involved in the World War. But from what I'm seeing on the screen is that a lot of people have issues with accepting the fact that being Jewish is not in the blood. And it shouldn't be categorized as a race, but a religion. And yet a lot of people say, oh, my dad's Jewish, so I'm half Jewish. So that means you're half Israeli.
Yes.
Jewish is an ideal, not a blood.
Is there a place
Is that-
called Jewish land?
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying. So what?
Yeah. There's no
What do you
Jewish
say?
land.
Is it a race or a religion?
I agree with you. I don't think.
We need to ask a Jewish person.
Yeah, you're right. It's not a word. It's a word problem. It's a word problem.
It is a word problem.
Just call it like it is. You're Israeli.
Yeah.
That's like me saying, "Oh, I'm 2% Scientologist."
Just like we call.
Yeah,
you're
you wouldn't
French,
say, "Oh, I'm
France.
5% Nazi."
I'm 5% Nazi.
That's a political party. It's not really a religion, but yeah,
Oh,
I'm 5% Buddhist. Like, it doesn't make sense
Yeah.
to me.
Oh, my dad was Buddhist, so I'm 5%
Yeah,
Buddhist.
I'm half Christian.
I'm half Christian.
I'm half saved by Jesus.
I'm half Southern Baptist.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No, I agree with you. I do.
We're
agree
all
with you.
on agreement then.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that don't.
No, there's a lot of people.
Okay.
You're 100% right. There's a lot of people that are like, no, it's a race.
Yeah, exactly.
Judaism is a race.
Because if you look in history books and stuff, the Holocaust was about genocide towards a race of people called the Jews.
When if you think about it, it was really genocide against a religion.
That's where it gets muddled, because World War II was a lot about eugenics.
I think where stuff got mixed up is that because there was other countries that had Jewish people in them that practiced the Jewish faith, Judaism, and they saw it at that point more of a race, because it's like, oh well, it's not just the Israelite Jews, it's all the Jews.
I get what you're saying, yeah.
So I think history got it mixed up.
Maybe.
And we just see it as that today. You know what I mean?
It gets muddled in World War II.
Because that's how it was written. It was like, it was written as a
Yeah.
As a race
as a
thing.
race thing,
Yeah.
not a religion thing.
Yeah, and it kind of got muddled in there because
Yeah.
from what I understand, the Nazi Party didn't like they were against the ideals of Judaism,
Judaism,
of
yeah.
Judaism, and they were against the bloodline of Israelites.
Yep.
So they were against both. So
Both.
that's where it gets muddled.
So it actually all got mixed
and
together.
all got mixed in that war. And I think at this point it's like, oh yeah,
So-
I'm 5% Jew.
So when it was written probably from the Nazis' perspective, which was that was a race of people that they didn't like.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well,
They
is
were-
it fair to say then that, like, maybe she shouldn't have said it in such a fucked up way, but is she kind of right? Like, was the Holocaust white people killing white people?
I mean,
'Cause
she's not wrong.
Isn't Israel in the Middle East?
Yeah.
Yeah, Israel.
So they.
But the Jews that the Holocaust was going against was mostly migrated Jews from the Middle East to Europe. So they were mostly white people with Israel blood.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Do you recommend Brazilian butt lifts for people over 40? If you saw a butt lift on somebody over 40 years old.
What kind of butt lift is that? Is that like a?
I mean, if you see
Fat
have you
injection
seen
butt lift?
Brazilian women before?
Oh yeah, you know, like their
They've just
size
got
butt.
genetics that are like a powerhouse.
It is.
Powerhouse.
Yeah, like nothing can beat those genetics. I mean, have you seen like Brazilian news anchors and shit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I could swear I'm watching something I shouldn't be.
Yeah. No, definitely.
And Telemundo weather women.
Yeah. Literally the tightest dress
Yeah.
like ever. Short.
Yeah. They know what they're doing. They know how to get people to watch the news, I guess.
I mean, if you see an older woman with a butt lift, it's like her whole body is normal, but the butt's
Are you
just a
talking
Kim
like
Kardashian.
over 50?
Yeah,
women?
over 40.
Over 40 women. Okay.
Yeah.
So MILFs.
Yeah, I guess so. At
All
this point, whatever women we have our eyes on are MILFs at this point.
Yeah, even women our age could be considered MILFs at this point.
Yeah.
So
we're at that age. We're at that
That's
age.
so weird though, isn't it? Like, oh, I like that MILF even though she's like my age. It's kind of weird. 'Cause
We're
when
dad
we were
age,
younger,
man.
yeah, I know, but when we were younger, it was like, oh, that MILF. When we're talking about like over 30-year-old women.
Yeah, well now a MILF to us is a GILF.
Damn.
Right?
Yeah.
That hits deep.
Yeah. So
You're making me feel my age right now.
well,
Like,
that's healthy though. If you're
But I feel like when, like, the word MILF, I feel like that word,
it could
I
be
feel like it was invented just, like, specifically you're talking about an older woman.
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
like it could be. I mean, a grandma is still a mom,
yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
it's all relative, right? But I feel like if you grow older, your taste should grow older. If your taste in women stays the same at 16, there's a problem, right?
What if you
Yeah.
already liked older women when you were 16?
Oh, well then maybe when you're
Like Rob Schneider and Grown Ups?
oh, shit. I like older women.
I mean,
How much older?
Oh, okay, that's a good question. What would be your limit?
My
Age
limit?
Yeah.
How old is too old?
How old is too old for you? Yeah.
50,
Okay, so
50?
anything
50.
under 50 is fine.
because I'm 30.
So like
50.
49 is fine.
50 is fine.
50 is fine.
50 is
Okay.
fine. That's weird, right? Is that weird?
I mean,
What about
honestly,
you? What about you? What about you guys, both of y'all?
I think it depends. Like,
Well,
I've been thinking about that a lot
are you
lately.
saying you would hook up with a 50-year-old or, like,
don't know
go
what-
out with a 50-year-old?
I don't know what I'm saying.
That's a good question. You
know
bring
what
up
I
a
mean?
good question.
Because I
yeah.
probably wouldn't want to be in a relationship
So
with
would you
someone that old.
would you hook up with a
Yeah.
50-year-old or would you be in a relationship with a 50-year-old?
Because you said, well, I'm 30, so 50's not that bad. But if you're talking about, like, in a relationship, like, when you're 40, she's going to be 60.
Relationship wise, 40 would probably be 45 would probably be the max.
Be-
That's
max.
what I was thinking. I was
Yeah.
thinking 45 for
45 probably be the max
me.
because
Like 45.
at some point you're gonna run out of things to connect on. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be sitting here talking about. You remember that Pokemon? No.
You hear that, Autumn? You hear that, ladies? We're all single men sitting here too.
No, George and I are not single.
There you are.
No, we're definitely not.
You just have to do everything together.
We're taken. I mean, we're open. We're takenly open.
We're takenly open, guys.
Openly taken. Unprofessional Advice with me, Dino Bonanno, Joe Camfield, and George Guerrero. This is kind of a racy topic. I need help with my white friend. Me and my friend are both white. My friend and I are just starting to talk again only like a month ago because of our other reasons. But me and him and another were playing some games, and all of a sudden he makes like he's going to say the N-word, but stops halfway through. I thought I could have heard him wrong since he isn't the type to do that, but the next night he keeps doing it and said, I love doing that to people and seeing their reactions. I know he's not saying it completely, but it's still not okay. He's just saying it halfway to get people's reactions. What should I do?
I mean, it sounds like this person disapproves of it. So, I mean, I would just be open with him and be like, I disapprove of it, and you like shouldn't be doing that. But I mean, there's a bit of a gray area there.
It is America, right? I thought this was America.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's why there's a bit of like a gray area there, because it's like, if he wants to do it just to get a reaction from somebody, okay. I mean, if he doesn't mean anything by it, but his meaning by it is to get a reaction. But is he looking for like a negative reaction or just a reaction in general?
I don't know.
Like, is he looking for something specific?
He says he just likes to see the people's reactions. But how far does that go?
Yeah, yeah.
And if it stays within a video game...
Wait, what is he saying?
The N-word.
Like,
Damn.
with an A or with an ER?
Well, he never finishes it, so we don't know.
See, that's another thing. He's not finishing it, so he is still being respectful.
Yeah. I mean, he's he's doing it.
I mean,
fuck with
you know what I mean, though. Like, he could just be open with it and just say it.
I mean, let's just say you and Harvey, Andre, and Tion were playing Fortnite.
Okay.
And then you just out of the blue just said half of the N-word every time that y'all were playing the game, just to get a reaction from them.
Well, if
there
I was,
could come a time.
if I was them, then I would start getting really annoyed by that. I really would. I'd be like, all right, man,
you, George, I've heard
you need to chill.
This. Like you're what type of Hispanic are you?
Hispanic.
What
is that?
What?
That means you know what I mean, bro.
I'm what time?
Mexican and Puerto Rican.
Mexican and Puerto Rican. So if I were to just say you spill every time we play games together. You just laughed. You don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Well, because it's you, I would just think it's hilarious.
It's like he's doing this on
So,
purpose.
I'm like, Dino's doing the thing. Dino's doing the thing.
So I guess it just depends on who it is. It's kind of like,
I mean, yeah. If he's doing it to like complete strangers, yeah, he probably shouldn't be doing that.
Well,
I mean, they're friends.
If they're friends. They're friends, and he like we're friends, and like I said, if you do that to me, it wouldn't bother me.
Right.
But they're
because I'm not. I don't mean it.
They're friends, and it still bothers him. So honestly, it sounds like the kind of person he shouldn't be hanging out with.
Mm.
Yeah.
So you think would it be fair to say that this guy's being too sensitive, or he's just around the wrong crowd? Maybe they're not close enough.
That's a good point.
But let's say I'm going to assume, because they said the game was Minecraft, I'm going to assume that these are all white people. Okay? I'm just going to assume
Isn't that what the question said? It said, I need help with my white friend.
Yeah. Well...
And they're both white? Or...
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know who else they're playing with.
Yeah, see, they're not really specific about that. So.
Yeah, so I'm going to assume since it's Minecraft, I'm just going to assume... They're all playing with.
Wait, is that what he said?
Yeah.
He said he does it online.
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing that at all.
Yeah, when he's playing games with people, he says the N-word to get a response. Half of it.
So how can he even get a reaction if he's not? So it's online, so he can't even see the people's faces.
No, I don't know. I guess he wants to hear them say, like, "Dude, whoa," or whatever. You know, like. But after
so is he saying it to strangers?
No, I think it's just a group of friends.
Well, see,
it's one friend and maybe two other.
That's why I said if he was saying it to strangers, then yeah, it's
a big issue.
That's a big issue.
Big issue.
But if he's
we're
just saying in
friends-
a group of friends because he's trying to be funny and get a reaction,
yeah, no live stream, nothing.
then
it's just
if it's just like a private chat group or something like that on gaming, then what's different now? If it's in game chat where everybody can hear you do that, that's different.
yeah.
But if it's a private chat, party chat, okay. I mean, you're just doing that just to see if your friends say anything after a while. Okay.
Yeah, he didn't say it's annoying him. He said like it makes him uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, that's
Or
what
that-
he's portraying.
Or that's what's coming out. That's
Yeah.
what it
I don't
comes
know.
off.
I don't
as.
know. He's saying that's all the information I got. So he's just saying, what should I do?
I think I would ask him, be like, do you disapprove of this? Or do you, like, what's your take on it? Because then I would need to know that to give him, like, better advice.
I don't think that
So, I mean, I get what he's saying. Like, what should I tell him, I guess?
it's not like this guy says it, you know, like in my experience talking with, when I meet another white person, I'm cautious because this is something you don't experience, George. Okay?
Okay.
It's when I meet another white person, because I'm white, I'm cautious because there's a 90% chance that somewhere down the road, I'm going to say 80% chance that somewhere down the road they're going to get so comfortable with me that something's going to slip out to where they think they can say something to test whether or not
Test your whiteness.
test my whiteness, so to speak.
You know, I get that.
Or-
Are
though.
you down for the cause, bro?
Or to say, yeah, or they're going to say some questionable shit that's like, they'll slip something really racist in there and just say it nonchalantly. You know what I mean? And they would blow past it and see what I would do. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You get put in some of the most awkward situations.
I'm like,
man.
I don't know how to handle this right now. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. This same person will come to me and like saying, oh, that fucking bitch, that team lead, she's such a fucking N-word. And then she'd like walk away shaking her head to me. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, chill out. What the fuck? Or
Do you say that though?
or
You
there
say,
would-
whoa, chill out.
yeah, I did, but there'd be times where I'd meet a white person, and then months down the road, they'd be like, "Well, you know how black people are,"
Oh,
or something like
Yeah,
that.
I know
And
it-
it's like
I know what you're saying though, because
Yeah.
it happens a lot.
they always do this.
Yeah.
Black people always do. You know, them damn Spanish people, them goddamn Mexicans, they're taking our gerbs.
They,
Yeah, you know. So it's like
Yeah, I get that because it does. You're right though. It does happen a
yeah,
lot.
Yeah. So you kind of gauge when you meet another white person. You got to gauge.
It's like they come up to you and just because you're white, they're like, "Oh, he's one of
safe.
us.
He's
He's
safe.
one of us."
Yeah, he's safe. We can.
They're
I
one
didn't
of
know
us.
that was a problem.
Yeah.
That's definitely a problem.
Yeah.
White people problems.
Yeah. So I mean, if
No, that is weird though.
some white people get uncomfortably close and like try to really have your back too much.
Or they think they're in prison. Like us whites
I-
gotta stick
that's kind
together.
of-
Like what?
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. And I'm like, dude, chill the
Like
fuck
we're
out.
at work.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm gonna go home after this. Like,
it's like this guy I met through another friend. It's kind of the same story, right?
What?
But like I met this guy through a friend of mine, and I hung out with him a couple times. And he was really cool, really nice guy. Whatever. You would never guess that he's part of like a white gang.
yeah.
Until one day he was like, "Hey, I want you guys to come check this out."
Yeah.
Right? And we're like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, it's this like get together that we're doing and stuff, and you know, like we show up,
It's a bunch of Confederate flags everywhere.
dude.
And
We
fucking-
show up and we're like, okay, what's going on?" Like, and then it started clicking. I was like, oh shit.
Were they having those kinds of conversations?
Yes, and it was. I told my buddy, I was like, we gotta go, man. Like, I'm not for this at all.
I'm a little
Like,
late
yeah, I don't.
for something.
I'm really uncomfortable right now.
I left the stove on.
Yeah, he was like, because he was feeling the same. He's like, not right. It's not right.
Yeah.
And so we left.
Have you ever encountered somebody like that, George, within your same race that kind of, but at the same time, white. I feel like white people are all game, are free game. So so it's just like, you know, like if Jose came to you and he was like, that fucking
Spanish people
Blanco
are like
pieces of shit.
Spanish people are like the most racist people you ever meet.
Oh, for real?
Like Spanish people hate Spanish people. Like
Oh, for real?
Like Mexicans hate Salvadorians. Salvadorians hate Mexicans.
George and I used to have conversations about this at work.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
fucking Dominicans don't like Puerto Ricans and vice versa. And
Oh my God! What?
It comes down to where you live.
I heard that about like different Asian cultures, but I didn't know that about like Spanish. It's really
no,
like
that's every race, every Hispanic race.
They don't like any other Hispanic race. They're just like, oh, they're fuck. Have you ever? But what I'm asking you is, have you ever come across like a Spanish person that's come to you and tried to talk shit about another race? Like they feel as if they feel as if they have a free pass to talk shit about another. I guess so, because I mean, you gotta. They talk they talk shit about a subsect.
Yeah, well, I like.
Yeah.
So like, I constantly always heard like, oh, Salvadorians are lazy, but a Colombian person would say that, or like a Mexican person would say that. Then Salvadorian people would be like, you know, like Mexicans are like lazy, or they think they're better than everyone. Pretty much what it is. Every race, every Hispanic race thinks that other Hispanic races think they're like, that's what it is. Like Dominican, like
each race
a Dominican
thinks they're better than the other
person
race.
will think, oh, Puerto Ricans think they're so much better than us, but they're not.
Oh,
but then,
I got you.
Like that's what it is. Like everyone thinks that the other person is thinking that they're better than them.
Oh.
When in actuality, nobody is really. They're just mad that they think that you think they're better. That's weird. That's fucking weird. We're all.
I've definitely heard the part you brought up, like Asians.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In my workplace, there's all different kinds of Asians, and they're very critical against other different kinds. Like like there's an Asian with an American name, they'll treat them different.
Oh.
Like if they were born here, they'll treat them different. They'll treat them more low.
You're Asian American.
Yeah, you're Asian American.
Yeah.
Or if you are Asian and you came here and then you changed your name to and you have a separate American name, they'll treat you even less.
Yes, exactly how Spanish people are.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, but I think I'm spent, guys. I'm gonna call it. This has been Shorty Boy, a spontaneous little podcast that we had tonight. I'm glad you guys came over and
little powwow.
Little late night powwow.
Talking about race. It's
touchy subject, but
it's very touchy and edgy.
It's edgy. It's kind of cringy too.
And I'm hoping nothing we said offended anybody, and if so, I don't give a fuck. But don't take it to heart. Everybody makes mistakes, and we're growing to be better. So have a good night, and spank that ass.
Peace.
I'm gonna go home and beat my wife. Good night.
Whoa, that's unprofessional.